Wollaston's Market is a campus staple. It's a place to get anything from cleaning supplies and groceries to personal care items and stationery. Above all though, Wollaston's, or Wolly's, is a deli with a dedicated student following that for years have bickered online about which of their specialty sandwiches reigns supreme. Today, 3 Huntington News staff and editorial board members will try and settle the debate. They will taste and rate 8 reader-selected Wolly sandwiches out of 10. The sandwiches they will be tasting today are the Ninja, Eggs on the Beach, Sigma Capanini, Phi Gamma Melta, Husky, Lightenup Francis, Huntington, and the Game of Thrones.
So it's pretty greasy looking.
It's kind of slipping out of my hands.
It doesn't feel that great. I don't know if you can get the glossy shine on this sandwich. So this is a no from me.
The bagel is a little bit squishy and not in the way that bagels usually are.
There's supposed to be sauce on this. If you look closely, there's a tiny bit there. Honestly, I like it more without the sauce. I think when the sauce is on it, kind of tastes like vomit.
I do have to say the taste is better than I was expecting, but it's nothing to write home about. And the cheese is like, it's kind of like gunked up a little bit. And it's just really way too greasy.
If you were really hungry, this would definitely do the job. Tastes like a breakfast sandwich, smells like a breakfast sandwich, but yeah, maybe not my favorite.
I give the Eggs on the Beach a 3 out of 10.
I would give the Eggs on the Beach a 6 out of 10.
I would give the Eggs on the Beach a 5.5 out of 10. So I'm seeing something here that I haven't seen yet today, which is relative simplicity.
I don't know if that's pesto. It kind of smells like basil, so maybe it is pesto. I'm allergic to pesto, so if it is pesto, we'll find out soon enough. I think I just got a bite of chicken there, but I can taste the basil. The bread is really, really soggy, so that was not a very pleasant bite. But the flavors are good.
The pesto hasn't seeped into the bread nearly as much as I thought it would, and it is sort of fulfilling my hope that fewer ingredients would make for a better sandwich.
This had the potential to be great. Unfortunately, it's not that. There's nothing worse in a sandwich than unseasoned chicken. I think, you might assume like the pesto's gonna like pull the weight here, but unfortunately, it just falls short. Peppers, they're kind of just strewn about, so they don't really add much to it.
I would give the Sigma Capanini a 7.5 out of 10.
I would give the Sigma Capanini a 5.5 out of 10.
I give the Sigma Capanini a 5 out of 10.
This one scares me a little bit.
Like, what is going on here? I don't even know what to say.
There's a pool of sauce here, which I'm not thrilled about.
But we'll give it a taste because you can't judge a book on its cover. So this can definitely be judged by its cover.
The greens are completely like lost in here. Like there's a little bit on the outside, but there's just nothing else going on the inside.
It's not as soggy as the other ones, which I appreciate. It's pretty salty though, so I don't know if I like that.
Chicken's bland, the sauce overpowers it. You have an absolute mess of the sauce. And there's just nothing here that like is appealing.
I feel like it could have been a lot better if there were less sauce and more thought put into which vegetables were included.
Not to yuck anyone's yum, but this is yucky. So I give the Lightenup Francis a 2 out of 10.
I'll give the Lightenup Francis a 6.8 out of 10.
I'm going to give the Lightenup Francis a 4 out of 10.
We've got a lot going on here, a lot of different colors.
I know we have chicken in here, we have some avocado, tomato.
It's a very flat sandwich, so.
I don't hate this. I think the bread is a little soggy, but I think with how thin it is, that's sort of expected.
It's a little bit spicy, which I like, but the texture's a little bit mushy. If the components were a little more separated, it would be better, because right now you're just biting into a thing of mush.
But it's kind of interesting because it's a selection of flavors that I wouldn't have pieced together. I wouldn't have expected them to work together, but they come into something that's like, it doesn't excel, but it's like cohesive. It's enough.
I would give the Ninja a 5 out of 10.
I give the Ninja a 5 out of 10.
I would give the Ninja a 6.5 out of 10.
A little bit of a mess, but I've heard good things about the Game of Thrones.
I can see that there's also pesto on this sandwich, which is a really fun, exciting time for me. Super excited to try this.
I got a lot of veggies in there and not a lot of chicken, actually. I am getting a good amount of heat from the sauce, which is nice.
I feel like the only thing to really complain about this, it's a bit messy.
I wouldn't maybe get it if I was on the go somewhere.
But if I want a good deli sandwich, this would be one of those. You got the seasoning in there, you got chicken, you got peppers. It's not something I feel like would make me just like feel like shit the rest of the day. So I give the Game of Thrones an 8 out of 10.
I would give the Game of Thrones a 7 out of 10.
I would give the Game of Thrones a 7.2 out of 10. This sandwich looks promising.
This is definitely one of the more compact sandwiches of the day.
I actually think I like this one. It's like more acidic. The sauces, the pickle. Oh, I think it's a banana pepper. It's not a pickle, maybe.
I think this is another sandwich where simplicity is the key to success. There's not too much going on, but it doesn't feel like my taste buds are being overwhelmed, and it's not too greasy.
There's some bacon in here. It's really gummy. The sauce does not work with the banana peppers. Chicken is all breading. There's no actual like really chicken. If you look there, there it is, and there's all the breading.
I would give the Phi Gamma Melta a 6.5 out of 10.
I would give the Phi Gamma Melta a 6.5 out of 10.
I give the Phi Gamma Melta a 3 out of 10.
I can tell that I'm gonna like this sandwich already because it's cold, and I love a cold sandwich.
Now, cross-section's a little rough, but this is what I think like a traditional deli sandwich typically looks like.
I'm a little bit anxious about the amount of mayo that's in that. I think that's like way too much mayo.
Now, this is what a good sandwich should be.
The Husky is really refreshing. The veggies are really crisp. They stayed really fresh.
There's a lot of cheese. I think I got a lot of cheese in that bite, maybe too much cheese.
The amount of mayo really is an issue. I would say that there's more mayo hanging around on the outside than actually inside the sandwich, which is unfortunate.
The only thing I think is really the fact that it is messy, but if you're looking for a good sandwich that make you feel good, you know, it's not gonna like feel like a brick in your stomach, this is the way to go.
I would give the Husky a 7 out of 10.
I give the Husky a 9 out of 10.
I would give the Husky 8 out of 10.
Like literally get me out of here. Like no way you guys actually voted for this.
I'm hoping that it won't taste as soggy as it looks.
It's kind of sweet. I think, is that honey mustard on it or something?
The honey mustard is way too sweet. It's the sweetest honey mustard I think I've ever had.
So the thing that immediately sticks out to me is the combination of honey mustard, and you'll see there's a little bit, it's brie. Now, I'm not French, but I am offended.
Cold cuts taste okay. The veggies aren't bad. The bread's pretty soggy, but only on the inside. It's not greasy on the outside like some of these other sandwiches have been.
It's not bad. It's not good. I don't think I would get this again, but I don't hate it. I would definitely eat the whole sandwich.
I can't imagine anyone genuinely enjoying this, and I'm really upset that it made it into the top 8 because then I had to eat it. So, you know, this There's a smiley face on this wrapper, but I'm not happy. So I give the Huntington a 0 out of 10.
I'd have to give the Huntington a 5.5 out of 10.
I would give the Huntington a 6.5 out of 10.
In first place, we have the Husky with a total score of 24. In second place is the Game of Thrones with a total score of 22.2. Third place is the Sigma Capanini with a total score of 18. The worst reviewed sandwich, the Huntington, finished with a total score of 12. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our taste testers in the comments below.